Howdy folks, Nathan Adlin here at the Fast Lane Car, and we are not in London, even though it looks like it with this fog. We're actually in the Rocky Mountains right by Goldmine Hill, and this is what we're going to do. We are going to take this BMW X3, it's a 2017 model, and this Toyota RAV4 Platinum, which is also a 2017 model, and we're going to go up Goldmine Hill. And the reason we're doing this, we know they don't compete, the reason we're doing this is because that is a rear drive bias crossover, and that is a front drive bias crossover. And coming up next, we're going to see how they do. Behold, a 176 horsepower, 2.5 liter four-cylinder engine that puts out 172 pound-feet of torque. Now, it's really warm and cozy here. Now, the engine power is fed to the front wheels through a 6-speed automatic transmission, and when it detects slippage, it sends torque back to the rear wheels. But there's one other interesting thing about both vehicles. They both average 24 miles per gallon. Now, these are Toyo Open Countries. They're mounted on 18-inch wheels, and they're a little bit more aggressively treaded for off-roading. You can see that there's larger separation here for self-cleaning, but that still doesn't mean it's going to do that much better than the Goodyear Eagle tires on the BMW. The bottom line is that if you have aggressive rubber for off-roading, you'll do better than obviously having street tires for off-roading. So I'm going to try leaving everything in auto. I'm not going to go into a lower gear. I'm not going to play with the lock, any of that stuff. I'm not going to screw around with traction control. I'm just going to let it do its thing. Now, I've had a really good history with the RAV4. I like this car. I like every version of the RAV4 for one reason or another. One of the big issues is the lack of power. This thing just doesn't have a lot of it, and we're at almost 9,000 feet. The ride height is 6.1 inches. That's not a lot, but it should be just enough to get around these obstacles. All right, so first obstacle done without much of a problem. I took it nice and easy. What you're looking at here is a turbocharged four-cylinder engine. It's a 2-liter that puts out 240 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. It's hooked up to an 8-speed automatic transmission, which feeds the rear wheels, and when they slip, the front wheels engage. Now, tires are the name of the game for anybody who wants to go off-road, even on light dirt like this or snow. These are considered mud and snows, these Goodyear Eagles. They're mounted on 19-inch wheels, but they're not very aggressively treaded for off-roading, so there will be some slippage with these tires for sure. I admit I'm a bit of a BMW fan. I like a lot of the cars they build. Yeah, of course, I'm not going to compare this car to the Toyota. The only thing that I'm comparing is the all-wheel drive systems. And there is one just unexpected little nugget with this car. 8 inches of ground clearance. That's actually really good. It's useful on this trail, especially when we go around the corner. It's a funny thing because I know a lot of you out there are saying, it's a BMW, they don't do anything off-road. Well, they've actually been doing really well in the Dakar, the toughest off-road race in the world. So yeah, BMW actually does have a pretty good resume when it comes to cars in Dakar. So this sort of, kind of, maybe has a little bit of a pedigree. All right, here we go. Full stop, first obstacle done. Let's see if we can get through the second obstacle. Toyota has a little trick up its sleeve, and that's right over here. Look at this. Press this, and you lock the center diff. Now, what that does is it proportions power equally front and rear. Now, it only works at low speeds, but I've used it before in Moab, Utah on one of these, and it worked pretty good. Hopefully, today, we won't have to use it, but I want to use it anyway. So we come to a full stop on the second obstacle. Around we go. Nice and easy. Now, just the other day, there we go. Oh, it didn't like that one bit. It didn't like that one bit. All right, let's try it again. A little bit of momentum. Oh, bueno. And I'm going to shut off traction control if I can find it. It's here somewhere. Traction control is up here. completely and utterly useless. All right, supposedly it's off, so we're gonna give this another shot. I've locked the center diff, turn off traction control. I'm gonna also got it with a little tiny bit of steam. Open it up a little bit and just use momentum, hopefully. Here we go. All right, no problem. Okay, so traction control off, center lock on, and throw caution to the wind, go really fast. Works for me. Now, there aren't a lot of tricks available for either of these vehicles. This one, the only off-road thing it really has is this hill descent control, which, for those of you who don't know, allows the traction control system to fully activate to help you down a slippery hill. I do recommend it for people who are scared to go onto a downhill dirt trail or a snowy trail in a vehicle like this. But both of these cars are really, and they're cars, all right? Both of them are really just larger four-cylinder wagons, and they have an all-wheel drive system. Two different philosophies, but they are in no way built for off-road. However, if they do well on Goldmine Hill, you can bet they'll do well on a dirt trail or on snow. First obstacle done. Let's see if we can get through the second obstacle, which is tough. But not this. It didn't even go. No problem. That was really cool. I know it seems silly to be excited about going around a corner, but when you're talking about major difference between where the rut is in the top of the corner, and most crossovers really lose their minds trying to get around it because you lose a wheel, usually one wheel flies up in the air, and you're trying to get that traction to the ground. That's why we like using this as a test for all-wheel drive systems on crossovers, and this one just passed with flying colors. Yes, I would love to take it up the third obstacle. No, I am not going to take it up the third obstacle because Roman let us know that if I took up this vehicle to the third obstacle that he would do horrible things to me. All right, so let's get to the brass tacks of it. First of all, once again, we're not comparing the two of these. We're not doing a mashup. This is just comparing different all-wheel drive systems. Front end bias, rear end bias. With that being said, this Toyota Platinum comes to a grand total of $39,666 devil dollars. The BMW comes to $54,395. Interesting, the base price for the BMW is $41,250. The BMW really surprised me because those are street bias tires and it did fantastic. Both vehicles did very well. Both have very different philosophies on how they approach those obstacles, right? Hey guys, don't forget, we want to hear from you and your opinions about both of these vehicles and other vehicles that we should take up here to explore how they perform on Goldmine Hill. For the Fastlane Car, this is Nathan Adlin. Don't forget to go to tflcar.com for news, views, and real-world reviews. See you next time.